Welcome to the CVC Spotlight presented by Michael Deligianis & Co., CPAs and Business Advisors. For more information, you can contact them at cpaneeds.com. I'm your host, Cameron Palmer, and with me today is Zoey Deligianis from Madison, who recently committed to Tiffin University, Division II NCAA college. First off, Zoey, congratulations, and what are just kind of run us down of how the whole thing went down with Tiffin.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so about a month and a half ago now, I went on an official visit to Tiffin, and I'd been on my unofficial over the summer. So there was nobody on campus or anything, so I really had no idea at that time where I wanted to go or anything. Neither did I have any idea where I wanted to go when I went on my official visit a month ago. But after I spent the night and spent time with the team coaches, went to their practice, hung out with all the team and stuff, I knew that was the place for me. I just had a feeling, and they say once you know, and I knew that's the place I wanted to be.
What was that experience like, going to see, what a college level practice is like, and kind of what the daily routine is like for, just like any college athlete. Obviously it's very hard to make it to college. Only, less than 10% of all athletes make it to college of any level.
Mm-hmm.
So just what did you kind of see while you were on your visit, looking at the practice and things of that nature?
It was awesome. I mean, all the girls, you could tell they were great people, great athletes, great student athletes. I mean, it was amazing being around all of them. When I went to the practice, the energy in the gym was awesome. I mean, that's what I want to be around. The culture was just phenomenal, and that's ultimately what made me make my decision. Just the culture, the coaches, everything, the intensity of the practices, what they did in the practice was just what I was looking for in a college. So, yeah.
Well, you mentioned great athletes. Amongst the CVC, you are probably one of the best athletes amongst the conference between boys and girls. Great on the soccer, not the gridiron, the soccer pitch, amazing on the basketball court. You compete in a conference that's really tough in a lot of different sports. The girls of Madison finished 18-5 last year, where you averaged 23 points per game, which is stellar. 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 assists per game. So you did a little bit of everything. Second in that CVC, and competed in upwards of 10, 11, 12 games that were, decided by less than 10 points. How much is that competitive nature really going to help you transfer from senior year of high school to what is to come, next fall and next winter when you become a freshman at Tiffin?
It's awesome. I mean, I love playing versus great teams. I mean, that's what I want in their schedule. I do not want it to be just a bunch of easy teams. And the CVC has so many amazing athletes last year, this year. I know there's going to be more. It's just everything that, like you said, it's going to translate to college. I mean, going versus these teams in conference and out of conference is only going to make me better, even lose or win. Whatever team we go versus that is better, worse, everything is just going to help translate to the next level. And I'm super excited for this year because there's so many amazing athletes that I get to compete against.
I want to ask about one of those amazing athletes. I asked you about it after the Perry-Madison girls soccer game. You were matched up essentially with Jordan Rowan basically the whole time. What was kind of your mindset going into that, knowing that you're playing with a Division I caliber athlete who is doing amazing things, on the pitch? And how did you kind of take it upon yourself to make life difficult for her? And what does that kind of say about what you like to do on a basketball court, specifically defensively?
Yeah, first off, I just want to say she's an amazing athlete, obviously. I mean, she's committed to Kansas. I mean, I'm not going anywhere for soccer or anything because my main sport is basketball. But going into the game, I just knew I had nothing to lose versus her. I mean, I'm not playing in college or anything, so I just tried my best. I just was there to have fun, all season. I've had so much fun. Obviously soccer's over now, but yeah, just going into the game, I just wanted to try my best and hope for the best. And yeah, I'm glad we won the conference in soccer. I'm hoping to do the same in basketball. My mindset going into the season is just to have fun. I mean, I put all the work in the off season and previous off season. So I just trust the work. I mean, I'm not stressed about anything at all. I'm just so excited for these underclassmen coming up these 8th graders and the freshmen are going to really help out this year. And yeah, I'm surrounded by a bunch of great athletes, teammates, and yeah.
Well, last year you had a running mate, Claire Wakeham, who was also playing collegiate basketball at Ohio Wesleyan University. She graduates. Now you kind of become even more of a focal point of the offense. And you mentioned the 8th graders coming up. I talked to Coach about it over the summer at one of the summer leagues. It's you, and then it's kind of, it seems like maybe scoring by committee. What is that leadership role you're looking to take? Obviously, as a senior, but also just as a returning player who put up some really good numbers, and also being that college commit on the team. What is kind of that leadership role you're looking to take this season with some of the younger girls and just girls who might be getting their first varsity reps?
Well, first, Claire was such a huge part of the team. I love her and miss her so much. It's undescribable how much she did for the team, even when she was hurt. She was hurt for a good amount of the season last year. That really hurt us, but yeah, she's just going to be missed a lot. Leadership, I just really hope to lead by example, and I'm working on communicating more with the team and bringing a lot of energy during practices and stuff. Me and the freshmen are super close. I went to some of their games last year, and they've been to mine, so we've had good relationships. And going into the season, I already know them, and we have good connections and stuff. So I'm just super excited to be able to play with them for 1 year. They are so talented. We have Gianna, Maddie, and Amara, and you're definitely going to want to remember the names because you're going to be hearing them a lot during the season.
Well, shout out to Fort Minor with Remember the Name, to those of the folks who are going to watch this and know that song. Anyways, you mentioned putting in the work. Who have kind of been some of the biggest catalysts for you doing that? Or is it just, you on your own, you find a gym, you find a basketball, and you just, you go work on the things? Or is there things that you've done with like coaches and trainers that have really helped you prepare for what's been a great couple of years of high school basketball and what is hopefully to be a great collegiate basketball career?
Everyone on our team works super hard, so I'm very blessed to have people around me that can push me every day. When I'm not in season and stuff, I'm training with my dad, and I actually started working with Grant Mihalik. He owns 1% Basketball. I've been working with him for about a year, and he is tremendous. He has done so much for my game and has helped me beyond words. So I'm really grateful to have him in my life. I train every day. I like getting shots up before, after practice if I can, during soccer season, before games, after games. After practice, I would try to get up shots, find a time to train and stuff. I just love working, and I love playing basketball.
Well, you might be the definition of ball is life. Grant does a lot of really great things with 1% basketball. A lot of CVC athletes participate with him, and also his new AAU team, some of the Lake County teams and Asheville County teams, Jefferson, and things of that nature. I want to ask about that college recruiting process. It can be very stressful, and it can be hard to kind of manage, being able to communicate with multiple different coaches and maybe kind of line up the pros and cons of each school and what you were looking to get out of the next 4 years. So what are kind of just some tips to pass along to maybe not only your teammates but anybody else who is hoping to go through that, and just kind of break down your recruiting process for us?
Yeah. I never really had any doubt, or I never really stressed in my recruiting process, because in the end I knew it was all going to work out with how much work I put into my game. I was just I knew everything would work out. I knew whatever was happening is meant to be and stuff. But AAU is definitely a big part of it. I had an amazing coach, Coach Dan. I started playing with SMAC my freshman year. I didn't start playing AAU till 8th grade or freshman year. But the recruiting process really begins at the end of sophomore year, I'd say junior year-ish. That's when you start getting connections with these coaches and stuff. You get a lot of exposure. You start talking to more coaches and stuff, but also having most of my connections honestly came through exposure tournaments and posting my highlight film on Twitter and everything. Twitter has been a huge help. If you are wanting to play college basketball, you have to have a Twitter account. That's where all the coaches are. So yeah, but after going, I talked to a ton of coaches and stuff. I went on multiple visits and everything. It's such a like you realize how blessed you are when you meet all these coaches, and it's so hard having to tell them like no once you find that college. So I'd say that was probably like the hardest part was like writing these coaches that I formed like such good like relationships with, and because they were all just so nice. Like I was so blessed to have so many amazing coaches. I mean, every single one after I texted them and said I knew where I wanted to be, they just wanted the best for me. They were so happy for me, and that meant a lot to me. So I would just say to anyone like in the recruiting process, like just trust the work you put in and know everything's going to work out and everything that's meant to be will happen.
Well, great words. I can admit that that's a very common message that I get from a lot of athletes who are making that jump. But it's true. No doubt about that. So one last question for you is, what do you does that kind of the commitment and having gone through that process, do you think it adds any stress, or did it kind of relieve some stress going into your senior year, and now you can just focus on going out there, winning game one, and then winning your conference games, making up for a second place finish and potentially winning maybe the toughest division of the CVC in girls basketball, from just what I learned in my first winter covering the CVC in itself. Is there any like kind of stress that's gone, and do you think that it kind of maybe puts like a target on your back in any sort of way? Just what are your thoughts on that specifically?
Yeah, I'm super happy I was able to find where I wanted to be going into my senior year. Honestly, before going on the official visit, I had no idea at all. I had no idea when I wanted to be committed by or anything. I mean, coaches were asking me like, "Do you have a time frame and all this?" And like when I said no, they were all completely like fine with it. They were awesome. They were like, "Okay, yeah, we just, wait from here." But after I went on the official visit, obviously I knew that's where I wanted to be. So going in the senior year, I'm super happy that I found my home and where I wanted to be. But I mean, there wasn't really any ever stress, I'd say, on me, but it's just so nice knowing what like my future holds and stuff. So no, I'm not stressed at all about anything this season. And even if I wasn't committed, I don't think I'd be stressed. But like I said, I'm just so happy. I know where I want to go, and it definitely helps.
Well, wonderful. I really appreciate this so much. Thank you so much for taking some time out of what is now a busy week with basketball starting last week. And, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm almost starting to think about, what are some of the basketball games I'm really excited to hit this season for the CVC. Obviously, still got maybe a long ways to go for that, depending on how fall sports shakes out. But Zoey, thank you so much for taking some time. This was a CVC Spotlight special with Zoey Deligianis from Madison, brought to you by Michael DeLazel & Co., CPAs, business advisors. For all your accounting needs, contact them at cpaneeds.com.
This episode of CVC Spotlight was presented by Michael DeLazel & Company, CPAs and business advisors. Call 216-485-2028 or visit cpaneeds.com to learn more about what DeLazel & Company can do for you.